Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it is I, Lord Ebo Reese Hards, and you're watching IZ Corp Exchange Television on, and this is WAOI. For those who don't know what that stands for, that means Work All Over Institute. Very popular in the Midwest. So what we do here at the Work All Over Institute is we help make like human resources and things better for business. So what we're looking at, and it's a real sensitive thing. It's just strictly business. So what happens is we're gonna get right into it because we have camera time. Thanks, Mr. Camera guys. Time is money. Editing and all that, nothing's free these days. So again, my name is Lord Ebo Reese Hards. You're watching a special on the Work All Over Institute on IZ Corp Exchange Television. And I have to tell you, this is a Braga design tie. So let me pick it up for $299. And this shirt, plain polo striped tie polo, but the collar is different. See that? And those are $350. These aren't long sleeve, these are short sleeves. So hot out here. So what we have today is we're looking at the 8 success factors, which are critical. It's critical in business. So the first thing you need to do is you need to have a strong entrepreneurial team, and they really have to possess organizational skills. Now, what that means to your concept is pretty much up to you, because the same thing wouldn't apply for somebody selling cheeseburgers that would apply for somebody selling health insurance or life insurance, or versus somebody selling tires, or versus somebody who's just in advertising trying to ramp in sales, or somebody selling medical marijuana. It would be, it's different. So you really have to get more involved with the Work All Over Institute to figure out how these factors fit into your concept. So we said you need a strong entrepreneurial team, and you need very good organizational sales skills. Now, these are just success factors. There are a dime a dozen out there, but this is the Work All Over Institute. And at the Work All Institute, in order to be successful, you have to have these success factors, which are critical. So, number one, we told you what number one was. What's number one? You have to have a strong entrepreneurial team. Number two, you need to have a very, very, not so much complex, but you have to have sales performance management. And with performance management, which is more on the upper level of your business, you have to forecast your accuracy. So accuracy, and most important, what I tell people, what I look for is the training. So most companies, when you go into train, let's say you get in a job in a restaurant, or even construction. You go in and they bring you in and they say, well, look, we like you, we want to try you out. First you'll be on a probationary period, but usually the first week or the first 2 weeks you're training. And what happens is the company pays for that. So as your company's paying to train the employee, you have to be you have to have skillful training, or else you'll be wasting your money. So if you come back in 2 weeks and you say, okay, what did you learn here, or where are you at? Do you know and they don't know, either the employee is just has a learning curve, or you didn't train them properly. So skills and training is very important. And not only that, this aspect of your company needs to be managed constantly. It needs much attention, these two parts, accuracy and training. So you might want your own teams with 3. Skills assessment. Now what happens here is we don't like all those scientific terms in business because people really don't know what that means. You might have to go to Harvard Law School or something to figure out what sales skills assessment means. What we're doing is business opportunity. That's pretty much what sales skills assessment is. Just creating the opportunity in your business. So, an opportunity. Good example. Down here, or really around the country, it's spring break. So we know we have the Keys, Daytona Beach, South Beach. So your sales skills assessment would be, hey, it's spring break. Let's bring out some more tables. Let's open up this side of the bar. Let me hire some more people to come in, and let's put sales up. Let's charge a little more, and let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's what's scale. So we call it the business opportunity. Same thing if you're selling cars. Mother's Day. Hey, you see it all the time. Hey, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. Acura is doing a Valentine's Day special. Come in and trade your car in, and we'll give you a 0% financing for 2 years or whatever it is. Yeah, Valentine's, when you're selling roses, that's the kind of stuff you're looking for. Number 4, you have to define solution offerings. Now, again, with the business thing, just have the competitive edge. Just be competitive. You have to be very, very competitive. That would go, closing, proposing, selecting, proposing, and closing the best opportunities. So, if a vendor comes to you and they say, hey, we're selling these soaps and we want to put them on your shelves, and you look at the soap and you say, well, this is lambskin, and how does it smell? And you smell it, there's no smell to it. And then another guy comes in and he has this beautiful smelling soap, and they're both antibacterial or whatever, but his smells better versus this one who doesn't have any scent, and it doesn't have any color or something in it. So you would say, well, which one, you talk to your team and say, which one we like better? And we want to close this deal and get on with our business. So we have to select, and then we'll say, okay, we'll take the good smelling one, and we have to propose a price to them. Well, I can move so many units of this every quarter, and then you have to close and say, hey, this is what it's going to be, not a penny more, not a penny less, and if I don't sell these, you can come and get them, and then I'll think about it again. We'll start over from there. So we look at the competitive edge or design solution offerings when you're doing business with others. Finding a fit. We want to find a fit. That's number 5. And you want to have a good number of opportunities. So it comes pretty much back, this reflects more of your entrepreneurial team and your sales selection, because what you have to do is you want to start doing advertising. So you might want to keep in contact with your customers through the mail. You might want to do seminars. You might want to do some publishing. You might want to channel partners with vendors, or however you're doing, whatever the concept is. But keep in mind, opportunity generation opportunity is a program that is systemic, and it's not a fluke. When things in business, things just don't happen. You put things in place, and they're expected to happen like this. And when they don't happen like that, the way you planned it, then something went wrong, and you have to correct it as soon as possible. So the major components of that are, associated network. Associated networking is really good, and advertising. So number 6, qualifying. I look at this more like promoting, incentivizing. So what you're trying to do is you want to be you want your employees to be competitive. You see what I'm saying? Not just, this isn't a customer's thing, this is more like a team thing. And what that does is the incentive, it drives the employee to do better. It makes them feel more like they're part of a growing solution, because businesses is usually solutions, like we're creating something to make the quality of life better in the community. So you want to be able to say, the people that are working with me, they're not at each other's throat, but they are like, you know, not trying to say we're staying one head of each other, a step ahead of each other, but they're doing the best that they can to grow the sales, to grow the business. Because when the business grows and we reach our goal or we reach our quota consistently, then they know that there's something in it for them. You see what I'm saying? So raises, promotions, whatever you do, whatever your idea of is making your employees feel better, helps your qualifying. That's what we call it. So usually it comes from sales. So if you have somebody who does good in sales, you reward them. You qualify. It's a qualifier thing. That's number 6. You need, for number 7, is very tricky. It's like you need to know the needs. So it's like I broke it down to number 7. Need to need. Need to know need. What that means. When you're talking to somebody, it's like, okay, a perfect example is this little information we're sharing with you here from Work All Over Institute. And we're talking about success factors that are critical in business. We sit here and we say, well, what was the one that I really don't like? And we had to change the language on it. You have define solution offering. You see what I'm saying? When I say, okay, define solution offering, most people, especially if you're not into this kind of training and stuff like that, then what are you talking about? You'll leave the room, you'll sit here for an hour, and sometimes you even pay. You might even have to go out and buy your own lunch. You might have to. Some people fly in from across the country, and they come in and they sit down with us for 2 hours, and they have their team with them, or they'll have their what do you call those people? Personal assistant. And you'll be talking about defined solution offerings, and they might leave and say, I don't know what the hell, what does that mean? So for number 7, you have to really know the needs to know. Because you do not want somebody talking to you or speaking with you or meeting with you, and when they leave, they say you didn't understand me. You know what I'm saying? When you're saying you're not connecting, because you're not able to satisfy their need, or they don't know what you're talking about. They'll say, you didn't understand my proposal. You have to be very clear and very specific when you're speaking with people doing business. You know what I'm saying? Especially if people want to grow with you. If your business is doing well, somebody's going to say, wow, I could put maybe $300,000 with you and come back in a year and I have $320,000 or $370,000 or whatever. But whatever you're offering, you have to be very, very clear. It's not about, here's the money on this side of the dotted line. You have to be very clear in your proposal, and they have to understand and know that you understand what they need and what they're doing, or else you can't help each other. Number 8, pretty much clear and simple, is expansion. And what we brought that down to is long term. So, long term. And when you say expansion, you're not saying, well, we're going to move, we want to open, we have 3 stores in South Florida, we want to expand to Houston and Delaware or New York. Expansion is more being able to get new sales. That can come and be part of it. But you're really just growth, year-over-year growth. I started a landscaping company in it was already started. I had to bring in another company to get it going and everything right. And what we ended up doing was, the first year, let's say we made $10,000. My goal in the beginning of that year was to make $500. I just wanted to be able to say, oh, this year I made $500. Well, I ended up making $11,000. And then I got so into it, and I started enjoying it so much, even though it was hard ass work. I started enjoying it so much. I said, I want my business to grow 30% year over year. So the next year, the target was to make 14,000. We did that. So if you want to, when you're talking about the last one, you're talking about expansion. You're not just talking about growing your business. You're talking about really ramping up sales and bringing in more revenue. So you have to really consider what your concept is. And if you're satisfied where you're at and you're saying, hey, we make $40,000 a year, and I got two guys working for me, I'm making $250,000 a year. After everything is said and done, I go home, me and my dog, me and my wife, me and my kids, I'm good with that. More power to you. But most of the idea in business is to ramp up the sales and grow more. My name is Lord Ebo Risi Hards. You're watching IZ Corp Exchange Television, and you are visiting with the Work All Over Institute, which is very popular in the Midwest, by the way. So if you ever need structure on your business, anything on your business, you want to come to Work All Over Institute and discuss, break your business down to a science. I mean, if you just really want to know what it is, there's many people out there, but you're not like the Work All Over Institute. And we were studying today the successful factors in business that are critical, success factors that are critical in business. And there's hundreds of them. But this is just 8 of them that you can really get to start to know what Work All Institute is all about. And as a matter of fact, this is taken, what we're doing right now is taken right out of this, because this is you have qualifying and creation, and you have channeling partners, and you have mailings and seminars and online trainings and videos and everything. So it is what it is. Lord Ebo Risi Hards, IZ Corp Exchange Television, Work All Over Institute. Success factors in business that are critical. Success factors that are critical in business. And you can always look for the Braga Design. Braga Design is business garments, business attire, so you can look good and feel good doing what you love. Thank you, and have a very, very great day.